Mize, one of the surprising outcomes of the early action is the Atlanta Falcons absolutely taking it to the San Francisco 49ers. The final was 28-14. Atlanta shut out San Francisco in the second half. Huge win for the Falcons. There's a lot to unpack here. I know a lot of people didn't see this coming, but this Falcons team looks like they're a whole lot better than people think they are. And before I get your thoughts on this, Mize, we want to hear from Falcons fans in the comment section below. Give us your MVP. This was a team win across the board, offense, defense, special teams, but give us the guy who you think stood out the best and had a game-changing impact in this huge Atlanta Falcons win. Let us know in the comments. But Mize, what are your thoughts on just this big, huge win for this Falcons organization?
Yeah, Nick, this is a Falcons team a lot of people maybe like count out a little bit. We've been pretty high on their offense all year, but I want to give a big shout out to the defense. And as far as who the MVP is, I'm not going to give an option here because it was so tough. Everybody played pretty decent. It was a solid performance all the way around the ball. No one overly stood out on offense. No one really, the defense played well as a unit. Like everybody did their job and they came out and it showed that this Falcons team can really do some damage if they play together as a strong unit. Obviously, like Cordell Patterson didn't play at all.
Yep.
Kyle Pitts was very limited in his return back from being banged up. But he did some damage in the red zone as he should. That's like, his calling card. I'm glad they're looking for him in the red zone at least now. He had been very limited in his touches in the red zone early on this season. But Mariota, really strong performance, very clean, no picks, 13 of 14, so real high completion rating, only 129 yards, but he ran for 50 yards and another score as well. He's efficient on the ground. Their other two running backs were efficient on the ground as well. There's three guys ran for 50 plus yards. It is a strong team performance. And this guy, I'm going to get the first name wrong, but I'm going to try my best. I think it's Olamide Zaccheaus. But Zaccheaus did really well. In a time when somebody needs to step up, when a big playmaker like Cordell Patterson is out, he has in the last few weeks. And watching him early on, I always thought, okay, this is a guy, one-hit wonder. But in the last, I'd say 3 weeks, he's consistently, you see his name pop up more and more and more. And today, 4 targets, you get 4 catches, 58 yards, and the big one, the 37-yarder as well. He had a pretty big day, an impactful day for the Falcons. So on paper, the Falcons look good. And I'm going to lead you into this point, Nick. This was against a 49ers defense, number 1 ranked defense in the NFL coming today, number 1 ranked rushing defense, number 1 overall. Falcons were doing it, man.
Yeah, exactly. To your point, the 49ers coming into this game were number 1 in total yards and rushing defense. They're only giving up 71 coming into this game, rushing yards per game. The Atlanta Falcons ran for $8.68. That is strength on strength. The Falcons running game has been their focal point of their offense so far, and they came and took it to the San Francisco 49ers up front. Mariota had a huge day running as well. You mentioned over 50 yards, but even outside of Mariota, if you get rid of his yards, the Falcons still ran for 118 yards. That's well above what the 49ers give up on average. So this is obviously Atlanta Falcons, both with scheme on the Arthur Smith side, the offensive line, and the running backs. Again, Cordell Patterson did not play. So to go out there and dominate with the backs, they did have guys like Huntley, that offensive line. Lindstrom had another great game. He's one of the stars of this Falcons offense so far. I think it really shows that this is a complete football team. And Miles, this isn't just a complete football team. This isn't a feel-good story, right? This is a team that right now is tied for first place in the NFC South with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team they should have, if they weren't robbed by that bad call, it could have been a very interesting finish down in Tampa. So you look at a Falcons team right now that's 3-3 with 2 just excruciating losses. The early one to the Saints, obviously last week to the Buccaneers. This is a legitimately good football team right now in Atlanta, and they're good everywhere. They have a lot of ways they can beat you, and we saw that against the 49ers today.
Yeah, Nick, and you key on it. And I think a big reason as to why, like you said, strength on strength run game versus the run defense of the 49ers, this Falcons offensive line is so good. The tackles are playing admirably in McGarry and Matthews, but Lindstrom at the guard position is unmatched. He's the highest ranked guard in the NFL right now. He's got a 91.3 grade and 91.7 run blocking grade. Absolute mauler. This Falcons O-line, they need to give this guy a raise because they've strung together an excellent offensive line. who's really helping charge this team forward. And I'm getting the feeling that it doesn't matter who is behind this line of scrimmage. Uh, Anybody could run behind this. I bet you I could carry like 1 yard a carry behind this offensive line. They look to be like that good coming into this season.
Yeah, and there's no signs of it slowing down because that's what people talk about the running game. It travels, it lasts the entire year. So to your point, Lindstrom's tearing it up. 91.3 is ridiculous, by the way. 80 is like a star player. 91 is insane. But if you have this running game, this offensive line, like you said, it doesn't matter who's behind it. This is a team that's not going to, fizzle out. They have the pieces in place to be a really strong offense and frankly, a really strong team the rest of the year.